So, I hope everybody is having a good evening, because tonight, unlike any other podcast, we're going to be having one major topic, as apparently there's been a lot of anticipation in this call. We have some Team Lizard, and we have Team Monke. State your sides, from top to bottom. Okay, Peter, Team Monke or Team Lizard?
Reject modernity, return to Monke.
Okay. I already know Bliss is Team Lizard.
Kong may be king, but there's only one god.
Odin would like a word with you.
We have Robin, who I can already presume is Team Monke. Sleepy, never do that again.
Yes.
Oh my god, no. Absolutely not.
So proud of
Right.
you.
But I do want to mention earlier, Robin.
Thank you.
I just want to mention earlier, Robin, I still love the April Fool's joke you made.
That is... I had people, like, in my real life ask me what the fuck is wrong with me. I was like, yeah, monkey.
Alright.
The king to a god.
Well, you better take your pick, Ryley.
What is a king to a god?
That is him saying his side. It's a quote.
He's Team Lizard, in other words.
Yeah.
Okay. And of course, last but not least, Solar.
The biggest Team Monkey fan, right? Biggest Team Monkey guy.
Team Lizard all the way. Your inferior opinions will be discarded and cast down the mountain, along with all of his enemies.
I think that Solar's just a big monkey fan.
Yeah.
The biggest monkey boy.
Oh, don't even worry about it. When we get to that particular instance of the film, I will have a good time.
All right.
I'll have a blast.
Alright, so how should we go about this? Because
should we just give our full-on thoughts? Because Solar's last, and he's going to have the biggest rant.
So we're going top to bottom. Alright, boys, let's do this. So...
Okay, so...
Yeah, go ahead. I've already switched the card, and feel free.
Okay, so... Like... I should point out before anyone says anything, my experience with Godzilla, I have none. Literally, that Godzilla movie from like a couple years ago was my first exposure to it. So, I have zero investment in this whatsoever. Legitimately couldn't care less. But I do Kong for the memes. Oh yeah, should we include why we picked each side too? Or did we already say that?
Sure.
Because I basically just said that. You know, basically, it's only for the memes and how like both sides would meme each other. As far as the movie goes, it was great. I was totally crossfaded throughout it. At first, Bliss stopped me and basically said, "But don't you want to be clear-headed for this?" I'm like, "Oh yes, I'm gonna miss the Shakespearean lore of this kaiju movie."
Yep.
Fair enough.
And so I just got high, turned my brain off, then I had a margarita, and no, sorry, a Moscow Mule. Moscow Mule, shout out to Rose. And basically I just got to see a lot of cool action scenes. It was great. The only sobering thought in my head, though, was that I wonder how kaiju movies... Like, I'm not going to go deep into this. This is just a shower thought I had. Like, kaiju movies would be so different if the humans had normal common sense. Like, half this plot would just be outright deleted. But anyway, no, the movie was cool. It was great, like, again, turning your brain off fun. I love the scenery porn in it.
Yeah.
Because, like, the center... Yeah, we're doing spoilers if we didn't say it before.
Yeah, it is.
Center of the Earth. Really cool. Of my favorite human characters, I liked Dr. Lin, not just because he played Eric Northman on True Blood, but also just the way his character is. Really liked it, really personable. What else did I like? Or not like. The only one criticism I'll give the movie, as, again, it's a turn your brain off kaiju movie, it really drags in the beginning.
Yeah.
Like, it takes a long while. Like, they do a long while describing Kong's backstory, but you have to wait quite a while before Godzilla even makes any appearance. And, God, do you guys remember how long it took before, like, we actually got to a fight scene? It feels like it took... It feels like it took forever.
It feels like 15 minutes
about the
until
1 hour mark.
until
I
like the
feel
fight
like
scene.
when we got into the full first action scene.
Yeah, because I was thinking like 40 minutes. Like 40 minutes to an hour.
Yeah, something like that.
It's still... That's still kind of long to start getting to the action. I know it's a long movie, but...
I kind of expected something like that to happen because we have to quote-unquote get some exposition first.
I mean, sure, but it... I don't know, like, a lot of the scenes just seem to be, like, repetitive add-ons. They probably could have trimmed it down more if they wanted to.
Which I was
Personally,
the movie is like...
I'm not saying it was bad, but I'm just saying it was, like, really, especially for a kaiju action movie, really slow.
Yeah, I was surprised like how short this was compared to like it's actually I think it's shorter than all the other MonsterVerse movies, like, which I was surprised.
Robin, you sound quiet.
Oh, let me turn it up on my... There we go. Do you guys hear me better now?
Yeah.
By the way, after... Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. I was just like surprised that this is like a lot shorter than Godzilla King of the Monsters 2014 and Skull Island. Like, this is a like surprisingly shorter movie, which, yeah, I'm gonna talk about during my segment, but this one felt a lot like when it was not going, it felt a lot longer than it was, and then when it was going, it felt way too short.
Huh, all right. So, anything else, Peter?
No, that was pretty much it.
All right.
Well,
Actually, no. Because we're having Solar go last, and of course he's the one has a lot more to say on Godzilla versus Kong. I'll give my own piece on it. I'm not as big on the kaiju giant monster flicks where they're tearing apart buildings and such. I haven't had much of a chance of watching them when I was a kid. I didn't have much access. I was just only aware. Like, I was only aware of Godzilla. I was only aware of, just the very core idea. But I know that there is a crowd for that. I just didn't know how big it was. I thought it was just a thing that was just a popular trend in, like, the 60s and 50s, or if not the 70s. Yes, I know. I was that naive.
You're fine. You just didn't grow up with it like I did.
Yeah, and there was the unfortunate fate of what Godzilla once had back in the 90s with Roland Emmerich. But moving past that, yeah, I knew that, like, I had a feeling Godzilla would get a proper reboot at some point. I tried to give myself the chance to watch the 2014 Godzilla movie. Again, I didn't have the opportunity. Some people said it was good, then it had a sequel, and I'm like, oh, I guess people liked it. And then Godzilla vs. Kong is, like, around the corner, and everybody is flipping their shit. So, my knowledge on the recent Godzilla movies is it's bar none. Like, I went into Godzilla vs. Kong without any prior knowledge, and I guess they have some things that they talked about, including, apparently I didn't realize this, what was it, King Kong Skull Island? I'm guessing that's just part of this universe.
It is, yes.
Yeah, I didn't really think about that, so I will agree with Aeon of Dreams that the pacing in the first half takes a bit to get to. There's a lot of exposition with the human characters. I didn't really try to have too much of a high expectation, because I remember back when King of the Monsters was out, and a lot of you guys really loved it, and you were frustrated with the critics because they were being very picky with the human side and saying there's too much of Godzilla wrecking apart the cities. I haven't seen King of the Monsters, so I'm just saying this with a pinch of salt. So, so when I see that there are human characters involved, I'm sitting there thinking like, okay, yeah, they gotta have that human connection, blah blah blah. Because obviously this battle between Godzilla versus Kong is putting the life on the line, the world on the line, and all that shit. The thing that was really fucking weird with me was when they had this hidden world underneath this entire, it's like at the center of the earth. They have this world at the center of the earth that changes gravity back and forth, which on the surface it looks really cool, but the second of which, how the fuck is this world still alive? Isn't there supposed to be like a center core, like a hot core that keeps this planet alive? Because that's how it's formed. That was a really big what the fuck moment there.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. I am curious to see what they'll do with it, though. Even though I'm like, damn, the apocalypse happened 20 times now.
I mean, to be completely fair, just giving pretty much just a gateway to a bunch of other potential kaiju by just saying, oh yeah, they came from this literal journey to the center of the earth fucking shit here, crawled out onto the surface.
Yeah, I'll explain it in my turn.
My dumb one was where the fuck is the sun coming from?
How is the planet itself functioning? And where's the light source?
Earth's core, probably, because in most Hollow Earth theories, the sun is just the core of the Earth.
Yeah, I was just sitting there I guess there's a sun underneath the crust. Interesting.
On the level with the critics, I felt so I was stumbling upon I was looking for sources in order to put together this title card, and I wanted to make it as badass as possible, but I stumbled upon a Reddit page, and apparently there's a top and bottom of reactions where I think it's kind of making fun of the people who love the monster flicks. At the top, there's they're looking at the critic score on Rotten Tomatoes with the 42% on King of the Monsters, and there's a figure on the left saying, critics don't understand Godzilla like I do. I never checked Rotten Tomatoes. Who cares what it says? But then at the bottom, you have Godzilla vs. Kong at a 79% certified fresh, and they're saying, guys, look what Rotten Tomatoes said. I know that feeling. Because
I know that feeling all too well, yeah.
Yeah, because Rotten Tomatoes, it's out of all those sites out there, Rotten Tomatoes is one of two things. Either they're the most unfairly critical website, or you're just happy with the number because you agree. I think it's all a matter of just whether or not you agree with them or not. There were many occasions when I don't agree with their numbers, and I think that's something everybody is going to get out of it. So, I think when it comes to just watching these monster flicks, you just have to watch this with a completely different perspective. It's about the fucking monsters, not the humans. I'm not saying that you should completely dump aside the human characters. There has to be a reason why these monsters are about to fight. So, I'm kind of going off of a bit of a tangent over, what the critics are saying and everything, and I do apologize for that.
Actually, can I just state this real fast?
Go right the fuck ahead.
I'm just happy to hear from someone who's an average Joe going in and watching it without any real history or fanboying or even watched the previous movies. You went in as a regular viewer. So I like hearing a regular average viewer's perspective because I am biased as hell. So thank you.
Okay then. Well, I guess that's me. So, go ahead.
He was saying you're welcome.
Oh.
Your perspective is valued, mortal.
All right then. So, but there's the big spoilers here is that there's two big fights, and these two big fights, they're still worth it. They're still worth it because you can kind of sense something, some sort of rivalry that goes on between Godzilla and Kong. And it actually, it gets a little weird at first, but it explains afterwards. Because there's the fight in the ocean where King Kong is back on the ship, and Godzilla is looking over and glaring. They're both glaring at each other, and he just continues onward. Okay, all right, so they're not going to fight anymore until they get to after they.
Well,
get
they turned off the engines to play dead. Essentially, that's I only assume Godzilla thought Kong was dead.
I didn't really see it like that, but I guess that works because it kind of seems like Godzilla had a bigger problem to deal with. Like, he was able to sense it.
Oh, yeah, no, he was pissed. He was already pissed off about something else. Kong wasn't even on his shit list until he says, wait a minute, what's he doing out here? Oh, hell no! You ain't gonna be in my ocean! So he had to make a U-turn to take care of this asshole.
From goddamn under earth nowhere coming up in my goddamn ocean. Who the fuck are you?
So Godzilla had to make a U. It's like, God dang it, I already have enough problems, so I have to deal with your furry ass.
Alright, so I'm going to end my piece there. Godzilla vs. Kong, fun movie. It's definitely worth the watch. Lightning Bliss, take it away.
Oh my god, I gotta quote this from PopProgs101. What are you doing in my swamp?
Oh my fucking god.
Godzilla is Shrek.
Godzilla is Shrek confirmed.
And Kong is the donkey.
It's not gonna get out of my head.
Is the robot Princess Fiora then?
And
Oh dear God,
imagine
stop.
Godzilla singing All Star.
I mean,
Okay.
I'm not saying we would improve beyond.
So, as the Godzilla fan, major things I gotta point out that they vastly improved on from the previous film. There was actually a fight during the day! It is very, very much a known fact in Toho movies that a lot of Godzilla fights happen during the day, and Legendary Studios had a terrible, crippling handicap where they would always have Godzilla and other monsters out during like a stormy night or darkness or a blizzard, you name it. It was probably covered in rain or darkness. Darkness!
Wasn't there that one battle in the first movie, though, that was in daylight?
Yeah, the very first fight when they're out on the ocean was in daylight.
Yep, it was.
So,
I mean, like in the first movie.
no, there were no fights that were in broad daylight in the first movie.
Not even the volcano one? I thought that was during the day.
No. That's because a hurricane came in because of Ghidorah. Everywhere Ghidorah went, a hurricane followed him, basically.
Also, that was from the second movie, not the first one.
Yeah.
I don't know. I
in
played
the-
my Lionsgate series.
Well, in the first one, in the very first fight, it's at an airport. It's in the dark, and then they cut it off.
Yeah.
We're not going to talk about that, okay? So vast improvements here. There's fights during the day, and even when a really, really big second fight comes up, you still see everything, because not only is it happening in Hong Kong, but it's happening in the middle of Hong Kong City where there's neon lights everywhere. Everything is lit up. You see everything. So I have no complaints. Mwah! They are improving. They have improved the fighting. They improved the choreography and the sound effects and the sound and the everything is beautiful. And I absolutely love it. Also, booyah, I already knew Godzilla was going to win. It was really not I guess it kind of was a fair fight, but let's be real. Godzilla was, as soon as that fire breath came out and Kong lost his axe, oh, monkey boy, you are so screwed! You better run, boy!
Monkey.
The whole time, me and Lars were kind of just staring at each other, especially there's this one particular scene where Godzilla is literally standing on his chest, and they're both screaming at each other. And basically, me and Lars interpreted it as this. Godzilla is screaming at Kong, bow before me, monkey! And the Kong's like, I would rather die! That could be arranged! Crunch!
I thought they were saying Martha.
No, I think the better way to say is that Godzilla, bow before me, Kong. Fuck you!
Fuck you! Crunch! And no, folks. No, folks, Kong's not dead. If anything, he almost did die, though, if it weren't for human intervention. But anyways,
They needed a human intervention to stop the human intervention.
Ain't that funny? So yeah, a few things I will have to agree with for the average viewer. Yes, it was a little slow in the beginning. It needed to pick up, but it did eventually. And that's not really that's not a movie killer for me. It really isn't. I can understand why some average moviegoers would be put off by that. It doesn't really bug me that much. 5 minutes is not that long to me. Big deal.
Yeah, no, that's sorry for interrupting. No, that's a thing when it comes to movies that have a big anticipation. The movie allegedly has to go through all this exposition and setup, and they want to get it all out of the fucking way. And that's saying for a lot of movies that would have some sort of big anticipation. The exposition, it's always going to be that chore, but it has to be there because, you don't want those people complaining about how too much mindless action and it makes it a bad movie and some shit. It's just, it's frustrating. So it's just a bullshit thing that everybody has to deal with.
I will say that, I mean, obviously you guys know I am a Godzilla fan first and foremost.
No shit.
Will be.
Really?
Oh, wow, we didn't know. Didn't you make a review out of it, Bliss?
Can I continue, you smart asses? Anyway. So at first, after I watched the movie, I had a bit of a chip on my shoulder because I was actually a little annoyed because I really thought back. It's Godzilla versus Kong. Why is it that 70% of the time we were following the damn monkey? But then I realized something. I can't hate on that part because let's be real, the movie, the humans had to carry the story along, and you can't really do that with Godzilla, unless you actually have a science expedition constantly following his tail the whole time, which would not be a good idea, all things considered, because he doesn't like to be followed. He's very protective of his territory, so it makes sense. And overall, the characters that were involved specifically with Kong, such as the little girl and the little girl's caretaker, the doctor, and the other doctor, they were actually likable characters, even though I'm forgetting their names right now. I've only seen the movie once. I need to go back and rewatch it again.
The most who I remember is the little deaf girl who was able to communicate with Kong.
Someone informed me that little girl actually really was deaf, too, so props.
Mm-hmm.
So that was I mean, I know people can be trained in sign language. That's not the point. The point is that it was still authentic, so I applaud them for that. I also will applaud this, which I am super glad they did not go with the King Kong stereotype of the monster with the beautiful lady. Obviously, first off, this was a little girl, and two, there was no romantic relation between Kong and the little girl. Obviously, no. It was more like a guardian protecting somebody that needed his help. And they developed a friendship or family bond. I loved that. I'm like, okay, it's still technically a slight cliche, but at least it's natural and not theoretically being forced down our throats like in previous Kong movies from the older generation. So good on them for that. There was also this really big thing, which ironically, I was just talking to Lars about, my husband, and it was a very specific scene before we went to this Hollow Earth. And that was, originally, they were trying to get Kong to go enter Hollow Earth so they could follow him. But he wasn't entering on his own volition. So one of the guys said, tell him his family is there. And the woman's like, no, we're not going to lie to him. But she realizes they sacrificed a lot of people and equipment to get there. They really needed to do something. So she tells the little girl, tell him his family might be there. The little girl asks, is his family there? And she was honest. I honestly don't know. I'd like to hope so. Thank you! These are good characters! These are not bad people! I mean, yes, they are trying to reach a goal, but they're not trying to be malicious about it. For all they know, he does have family down there. That's not a lie. So, thank you. Thank you for making good characters. Thank you so much. And Obviously, I could go on and on and on and on and on and on. Overall, I give this movie a solid 8 out of 10. I would watch it again. I loved the fights. Godzilla wins. Suck it, monkey. Peace out.
Okay then, Robin, you have the floor.
All right, so Godzilla versus Kong. So I guess I should start by talking about the monkey bit. I really don't have a huge connection to either of these characters. No joke. The whole monkey bit started. I think I just saw it on Twitter and I was like, "That's funny." I'm just gonna because one of the things this movie did really well is marketing. Honest to God, it was a fantastic marketing campaign in which people were genuinely excited about the concept of Godzilla and Kong kicking the shit out of each other. And so I think that Warner Brothers is looking at this what the fuck? We couldn't do this for Batman versus Superman, but we could do it for the fucking monkey and the lizard. God damn it. But I liked I think I saw Godzilla 2014 in theaters, and I kind of remember liking that one a little bit. I saw Kong Skull Island, and I really liked that movie. And I saw Godzilla King of the Monsters on TV one day, and I was like, it was okay, but it was not my kind of thing. I think that movie's very much you either love this or you hate this, and I was kind of just okay. But other than that, I don't have a huge connection to these characters. I've seen a lot of Godzilla movies and Kong movies, but they're not super big connections to me personally. I actually have been revisiting a ton of Godzilla stuff before the movie and for a research paper I'm writing for class. And so I've actually gotten to appreciate some of the older Godzilla stuff. I think the first Godzilla movie, people kind of rag on these movies about the human characters. I think it's for good reason, because the original Godzilla is mostly a human drama, and I think it's actually pretty interesting. I really liked it. This movie was honestly, it was kind of meh for me. I do love a lot of the fight scenes, but man, the human characters are so fucking boring, or they're annoying, except for the doctor lady with Kong is those are the most interesting characters, at least for me personally. Millie Bobby Brown's group, it's okay, I know we have to do this because we need to set up Mechagodzilla and give the motivation for the bad guys or whatever the fuck, but it's not very interesting. It's kind of boring. Yeah, that was that. So a lot of the movie, I'm just okay, can we get back to the monkey and the lizard? But when it is monkey and lizard, it's fucking awesome. This movie is really fucking fun. I think a lot of the action scenes are really good. It keeps the pace moving. The daytime fight between Godzilla, Kong, and Mechagodzilla is fucking rad as shit. Holy fuck, that whole fight is probably the best one in the movie. It's great.
I can read something deep out of it, but not now. I just want to point that out because okay. Clear. Okay, I'm gonna put on my pretentiousness hat.
Hell yeah.
I'm gonna pretend I have a pretentiousness hat. So just imagine me with a fedora or something. I don't know. God, I got cancer. I'm gonna drink bleach after this. Anyway. Okay, so anyway, clearly this fight is a metaphor for how man will one day nearly triumph over nature. But in remembering his deeper inner nature, they shall merely rescue nature and then part ways. Respectfully. Which is to say, I want to put something that people miss because they focus mostly on the Godzilla versus Kong part of the fight. We nearly killed Godzilla technically by accident. We made a thing, but then it fucked up, but despite being a fuck up, it almost killed him anyway. Obviously that's not the point of the movie, but it was oh, okay, so he's not the alpha. So he did beat Kong, but he's technically not the alpha anymore.
Have a
But anyway,
Oh, I'll fight you on that.
Sorry for the noise in the background, by the way.
So anyway, no, you can try and fight me, but in the movie, Godzilla was raped. That was a rape, sweetie. That was not a fight.
By a machine, anyway.
Yeah. Oh no! Godzilla was getting fucked, in the fight. That's why I'm saying he's. In one sense, Kong didn't win, but Godzilla technically wasn't the alpha if we beat him by accident. But what I'm mostly getting to with that is, you can view it as a metaphor, how machines are just man's unquenchable thirst to conquer all nature. But in doing this, we lose something valuable and soulful. And by thinking back to the monkey, we remember, oh right, there is something valuable about nature, and then we stop it. And so man and nature are reunited in harmony and a dead city.
All right.
There's your pretentious read-in that's probably not real.
I got a fucking conspiracy theory for y'all.
All right, fire away.
Y'all ready to hear some fucking nonsense that you're gonna probably say that's fucking stupid?
We want to hear that.
All right, so a lot of this movie, Bliss, you mentioned that a lot of this movie is focusing on Kong. I honestly think that this movie was originally designed as like basically Kong Skull Island 2. Kong is the like driving force of the plot. He's the main character of this movie. Like that's who we're following for 90% of it. Like Godzilla just kind of shows up, wrecks shit, and leaves. Like that's his whole deal in this movie. He really doesn't have a ton of character to him. So they were gonna build the movie around Kong. But I think that someone at Legendary or Toho or WB basically said, hey, listen, we know you guys are building this movie around Kong, but we're about to lose the rights to Godzilla, so we gotta play nice with Toho. The monkey fucking dies. Like, I genuinely... Because the thing about that it's so weird is that, like, plot-wise, it would make... Like, the narrative arc of the movie is very much built up like, okay, you know, Kong gets his ass kicked by Godzilla on the boat. He goes and discovers all the Hollow Earth shit. He learns, like, the history of his, like, of his people, and he becomes stronger because of it, and he kicks Godzilla's ass finally. Like, that's the narrative arc of the movie. And he does that. Like, the second fight, like, has this pause where it's like, I guess Kong wins round 2 or whatever the fuck that human guy said. I don't care.
I will fight you on that because he did not fucking win.
But that is where the narrative arc is building to, right? Like, you can agree with me.
I thought that was weird too, because they clearly show that fight is still going after.
Yeah.
They're like, I guess Kong won round 2. I'm like, he was on the defensive like that whole time. He got maybe one half a glancing blow in. He's like, oh, yep, it's going to Kong. Yep, round 2 Kong. Like, are we watching the same fight?
I can totally see why that makes it seem like the movie had to be rewritten at some point. Because I can see that being a part of a different plot, and then they're like, oh crap, we still have this footage, we gotta use it, put it here.
Movie seems like it was written in the original version of this, where they were like, hey, Kong's gonna win the second fight, get his ass kicked by Mechagodzilla, then they have to team up and beat them together. Like, that's what I think the original plan was, because the deal for Godzilla and Legendary expired in 2020, the year this was supposed to come out. There is no plan right now to keep this going. Like, Toho and Legendary haven't come up with an agreement yet to keep the Monsterverse going. And all of the lore of the Monsterverse is built around the Godzilla shit. So I have a conspiracy theory that basically someone at Legendary was, like, somebody, either Legendary or Toho talking to Legendary said, yeah, keep us happy or we're taking our lizard shit after this and you lose this franchise. I really think that there was some kind of conversation in one of those offices where either Legendary is trying to play nice to Toho, or Toho basically made the demand, the monkey loses or we walk after this. Because, like, WB owns Kong. They can do whatever the fuck they want with him. He doesn't have to, like, they don't have to, like, manage anything with Toho. Toho has control over Godzilla and can basically say, hey, by the way, like, we want to do this, this, and this. You mentioned earlier, like, they had, like, actual daytime fight scenes, which was, like, a staple of the Toho movies. I think they kind of, like, tried to be, like, play nice to Toho, or Toho takes away our lizard, so, like, please don't make them mad.
Well, it's not their lizard to begin with, so, yeah, they do need to play nice with Toho.
Yeah. But I think that, like, it's not really a factor in the other ones until this one. Like, I think this one's a lot more... At least to me, it feels like the narrative arc is just like, hey, we have this narrative arc building. Wouldn't it be a shame if we just, like, totally ripped that out and just said, yep, monkey loses?
Are you saying that this time it's revenge for how the original Godzilla versus Godzilla ended? You think this is kind of a political revenge move or something?
I don't think so, because Toho made the original Kong versus Godzilla. So, like, I think that they were basically like, hey, we gotta keep... There is a thought like, hey, Toho basically says, hey, we want you to keep Godzilla looking strong, or we're going to take Godzilla back. Or Legendary themselves were like, hey, we got to keep Toho happy, or we're going to lose this franchise pretty much. Somebody in the chat, is this officially the end of the MonsterVerse series? I don't know if this is the end. There are no announced plans for what they're going to be doing with these characters, either in the Legendary versions. Toho hasn't even said there's plans for Godzilla movies after this, like even outside of the MonsterVerse shit.
Yeah, there's a bit more potential because of that Hollow Earth.
Well, I think Aeon might have mentioned this, or it was Solar, but they're basically waiting to see how this movie does. Like, does it bring in the money? And if it does, that might encourage Toho to stick with it.
This movie is big at the box office, is it not?
I mean, this is the only thing.
I think they hit their goal. Yeah. I think they hit it like the first night, probably.
Yeah, they broke a pandemic record. No, they broke a pandemic record. They made the most money of any movie released in the pandemic.
Oh wow!
Damn.
All right, I think that was for this movie.
Yeah, but that's my weird conspiracy theory, is that like in pre-production of this movie, somebody was basically like, "Hey, keep Toho happy, or we lose this franchise forever." Because all of the fucking lore of this shit, like people, I don't understand a lot of the lore because like I don't care too much. I'm just mostly here to watch big monsters punch the shit out of each other. So like a lot of the lore kind of flies over my head, but I know that a lot of it is based around the Godzilla mythos. Like it's not very it's very little original shit. It's a lot of Toho Godzilla stuff that they've been doing. So that's why I think that there was some kind of conversation like, hey, if we don't keep them happy, we lose our lizard, and that's very bad. So make them happy. Sorry, Kong.
I mean, the other thing too, again, there are scenes that don't make sense in the context of the movie that sound like they were part of the script. Like I said, when they announced that Kong won the second fight, I can totally believe that in a slightly different script, they probably gave Kong a win, probably filmed that scene, then they had to change it, and then we're just like, we can't waste this costs too much money, whatever. So they just left it.
Yeah. Because,
that fight is, as we mentioned earlier, that fight is clearly still going on.
Yeah, it's weird.
That was not a concluded fight.
That was the moment that I was like, wait a minute. Because I watched this movie twice. I watched this the first time at 6 in the morning, which was a bad idea, because I was only half paying attention to anything. And then I watched this the second time, because I was like, okay, I need to prep for the podcast this week. I watched it this week, and I was like, hang on a fucking minute. What if there's something to this? And that might be just a bonkers fucking conspiracy theory, and I'm pretty sure Solar's seething at that concept that they were originally going to make the Monke win.
Let's not keep him waiting.
But that's my psycho conspiracy theory. Overall, I like this movie. It's kind of, Kong Skull Island is still really fucking good. I like that movie a little bit more. Yeah, overall, good movie. I definitely recommend seeing it. It's fun as fuck. This would be a fun drunk movie, honest to God. I would really enjoy seeing this movie drunkish. This movie would be awesome drunk as shit.
No, this is a movie where I want all my friends, I just want all of us to get together, grab some popcorn and some pizza bites, some pizza bagels, just pizza everything, soda, popcorn, candy. We're watching this, bros. Let's go.
Oh yeah, let's do that whenever, I'm vaccinated now. I can go to Texas. Woo! I don't have time though, but
going up there.
I theoretically could go to Texas. Yeah.
Theoretically.
So Ryley, it is your turn now.
Okay, well, here's the thing about me. I thought King of the Monsters was just kind of okay, honestly. I was honestly a little disappointed by it. And the first, I'll get to it in a minute, but for the whole thing, I do have to say the human stories are kind of getting better. The first film, after Bryan Cranston died, it really just got really uninteresting as far as human characters go. The second movie, you had a bunch of great casting and characters, but you didn't do anything with them. That's kind of how I felt about King of the Monsters. And this one, I think they had the right amount of cast and just a simple enough plot that it lands itself and it hands itself to this movie. I even like the B plot with Millie Bobby Brown group with the guy from Deadpool 2 and I don't know who the actor was who was this conspiracy theorist, but it was pretty interesting. Anyway, well, it was entertaining at least, and then the whole Hollow Earth thing does lend itself to more possibilities in the future for the series. And one thing I wonder if you guys realize, if they don't have access to Godzilla, they could make another film using some of these characters, though.
Like
but
what?
will any of them really sell?
What about Kong with Pacific Rim?
Kong, okay, I can see some cool things with that, but like, I know, like, there's that pterodactyl thing that I can't remember the name of from that other movie. But if you showed me that, I don't think I'd be like I'd be like, what the fuck is this?
I mean, I was just thinking about the whole thing in how we had the fight again in Hong Kong because
I mean,
Hong Kong,
sure, but Halo tried to release a Halo game that didn't have Master Chief in it. Oh no, sorry. They tried to release a Halo game that didn't star Master Chief, and it didn't go well.
Yeah, that's.
I mean, that's a cool concept. Honestly, I would watch like Kong versus Pacific Rim, but yeah, I think that if I was gonna do a MonsterVerse and Pacific Rim crossover, yeah, you kind of want Pacific Rim versus Godzilla. Like that
almost happened.
Interesting.
That actually almost legitimately happened. I don't know what happened to it though.
Yeah, it was some kind of like there was some kind of issue, and then that's why they made Pacific Rim Uprising or whatever the fuck that movie was called instead, which blows. But yeah, I mean, I kind of wish we had seen Godzilla versus Pacific Rim because that sounds fucking rad.
it does. But I love Pacific Rim so much. The first film is like,
oh yeah, I love Pacific Rim.
I saw that movie no less than 3 times in theaters in big 3D IMAX.
I like Cherno Alpha. He was my favorite.
Yeah, I can see why. And it's just all I could think about when I was watching Kong and Godzilla fight. Side note: the fighting in this film I liked a lot better than King of the Monsters. I don't know, the King of Monsters just had good ideas for fights, but they weren't really as well executed as they think they were. These movies, or this film, you could actually just like you could see the thought process in these monsters' ideas and what they're doing.
Yeah, you can see the gears turn.
They improved the choreography. They actually listened to the fans.
It was almost like watching 2 UFC fighters or something when they were in Hong Kong.
Yeah, Kong was definitely pulling some fucking WWE shit. He was like fucking grabbing buildings and jumping off of them like goddamn turnbuckles and shit. Yep. Like he was jumping off buildings to deliver Superman punches and all kinds of fucking just crazy shit like that.
I really want Jim Ross to make a fucking commentary track. Like, I know somebody was posting about it on Twitter, but like, my God! Just imagine fucking a wrestling commentary track over the Hong Kong fight. That sounds fucking awesome.
No, dude, just get Joe Rogan to do it.
Hell yeah. He would do it too.
He 100% would. There's no way he wouldn't. He would probably have the time of his fucking life doing it. He'd probably think it's funny as hell.
Yeah, and he would talk about it on his podcast. He's like, I'm King fucking Kong.
God damn. Yeah, it's just the fighting in this movie was definitely a lot more well choreographed. It was kind of like King of the Monsters didn't really have like interesting fights for me. I thought the first film did better as far as fights go, at least when they actually showed the 2 monsters fighting and didn't.
Okay.
Yeah.
Something triggered Bliss.
like I think somebody did a video counting how much time Godzilla was in the first film. He was in there for a total of only 8 minutes in a movie.
Yeah. Remember that movie where we went to see Godzilla, and then we barely saw Godzilla? It was a great movie, man.
Is that what the 2014 was?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
That was the big complaint with 2014.
And then King of the Monsters came out, and Godzilla was a bigger center of attention, but then the movie got criticized because of the humans.
Humans were stupid, but I still enjoyed the film for what it offered. It was definitely going in the right direction, and then we got this beauty. So yeah, they keep improving, I notice.
They are improving.
Okay, then.
They have been learning with each film, so at least we do know they do learn. Unlike Michael Bay.
Oof. Or Paul W.S. Anderson.
Oh, fair enough. That too.
I'm gonna make it bigger with more explosions now.
When I said the whole Kong versus Pacific Rim thing, I wasn't thinking of that being the entire future, but something to do in between. They negotiate another contract.
Again, they wanted to do Godzilla versus Pacific Rim, and sorry about that. I just got done smoking.
Go on.
That's fine. But yeah, we'll have to see. We'll have to see if they negotiate another contract and if they can do it or not. I mean, I know Toho doesn't really have much plans as far as Godzilla for the time being, so it's going to be interesting to see. For I think this anime that's coming out or has come out is what's going to hold us over for the time being. I think as far as Godzilla goes. Sadly, but I definitely like this more than the second film, and I definitely liked it more than the first film. So as far as like if I were to rank the films, I'd probably go this, the first film, and King of the Monsters. I don't know. I enjoyed parts of the first film enough to have its. Yeah. Anyways, I think I should pass it on to the Sleepy of the Charm.
Yeah.
Hello, hi, how are you? I almost fucking had an asthma attack. Anyway, Kong versus Zilla.
You okay?
Did you just call Godzilla Zilla? You better take that back.
Oh,
That is not only incorrect, that is punishable by death around these parts.
But holy shit. I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this very bluntly. Godzilla and King of the Monsters was fucking trash. Mostly because they focused more on like the human characters, and like some of the human characters in the last movie was very how do I say this? Very fucking undeveloped. Not to mention the choreography was so like very weird. With this movie, holy shit, there's actual good human chemistry. I feel like for this too, we have this deaf kid who has like some sort of connection with Kong, and then you have this trio that's like a mixture of like if Stranger Things had like a grown-up version and Pacific Rim. Like that's what it feels like to me. So Kong versus Godzilla is probably one of my favorite movies right now, because holy shit, this feels like something that's like the definition of a blockbuster. Like, holy shit. The fact that this movie was very enjoyable, I mean, it was like the pacing for it was kind of Like, I think it's mostly on the first or second act, but yeah, the fucking first scene was like, holy shit. Fucking, what was it? Fucking Kong was just like froggy jumping all over the ships. Okay, I'm gonna talk about something very specific. And I think it was in the second round? Yeah, the second round. Can I just say this? I hope we're watching the same movie, because I can't be the only one who thinks this, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think the last part of the fight, or, you know, if you will, the last act of the second round, am I the only one who thought that there was some sexual tension between Godzilla versus Kong?
I know what you're referring to, and I love you, you degenerate.
Listen, okay, thank you, Aeon, first off. Second, the fact that there was, okay, I love the part in the second film, because I think that was, in my opinion, that was probably the most memorable in the movie, but we'll get into that. The fucking part where, I love the part in the second fight, where Kong has his fucking hand, like, this fucking, like, stick, right? His fucking axe. And he literally deep throats the ever-loving shit out of Godzilla.
Yeah, they're referencing the tree scene from the original film.
I love every bit of that. Also, there's this particular part in the last act where I was just like, am I supposed to feel anything for a movie about, like, literally two monsters fighting in, like a city place? Like, what the why am I feeling things?
I know what you're referring to. I didn't have that much of a personal, like, emotional connection, but I felt like it was kind of needed, because...
Like, no, like, okay, good, cool. The fact that there's this part of the scene where fucking Godzilla literally rips his chest out and was, like, stepping on fucking Kong like it's some sort of, like, BDSM bullshit. And then he just, like, sort of just, like, had this, like, roar fest or of some sorts with, like, Godzilla, and then Godzilla just, like, roars at him and he roars back. It was like, okay, I see you. You're not a bottom bitch. All right. That's what it felt like to me. I can't be the only one who thinks that. Because I think that's probably the most memorable part of the movie. Besides, I think, the ending part where literally Kong and Godzilla just, like, had, like, a whole ass, like, tag team match, like, on some WWE shit, like they have mentioned. And they fought against, what was it, like, on 2-on-1 against Mecha Godzilla, which, by the way, the whole thing about Mecha Godzilla was kind of okay. Why did y'all fuck that up? But it's just, oh my god. I think one of the best parts about the ending of the movie was when, what was it? He literally Kong literally just, like, drops his fucking axe, like, to show some humble and respect to Godzilla. And that is the coolest shit, on some Captain America shit, Civil War, right? It was probably one of the coolest scenes in the movie. And I think, like, overall, is this better than Godzilla versus the King of the Monsters? Oh, fuck yeah. Absolutely. I feel like there are some pacing issues, especially with how they focused so much on the human characters. Which, by the way, I want to talk about the human characters real quick, because, oh my god, we actually have development. We actually have realistic situations. We're not just throwing some random ass mother and daughter bullshit. What? It's, oh my god. The fucking deaf kid and the Kong chemistry. Like, holy shit. That's, like, the most, like, wholesome human interaction in a monster movie ever. It's like, I don't usually care for, like, human, human parts of, like, any monster movie. I think, in my opinion, it's kind of out there and kind of dumb, but you kind of get why it needs to be there. In this case, I absolutely know why it's there, Because at least with Kong, he gets some sort of backup or some sort of like encouragement to fight Godzilla. And even though that wasn't the case with Godzilla, even though it makes the situation worse for him, it gives a more like, I don't like saying this, a more human perspective on the monster movies. Which is not, I know it's not the whole point of the movie, and not the whole point of Godzilla movies in general, but this is probably the only exception that I would probably make, coming from a person who's only a regular viewer. I'm not the biggest, like Golden and Aeon, I'm not the biggest Kong or Godzilla fan at all, but I enjoyed this movie for what it is.
Go ahead, Peter.
No, it's nothing.
Okay.
But I enjoy this movie overall as someone who's like a regular ass viewer. Like, I think a lot more than, what was it? Godzilla versus the King of the Monsters. I forgot the name for a second.
No, that's fine.
But yeah, it's a good movie.
If I could say one thing about why Mechagodzilla probably had the advantage over Godzilla. Hello?
Yeah.
Yeah, we hear you. It's just that I keep having to yell at Solar. We can't hear you. Push to talk.
Oh, that's what it is.
His push to talk isn't working, apparently.
Oh, come on.
More like push to suck pee-pee.
Heard that.
I was going.
All right, good. A-okay
Or
this time.
either that or push to suck Kong's axe.
No, no.
No. Why the fuck?
Deep throat. Ha. Haha.
I made myself a bag of popcorn during Sleepy section.
I'll just say this in regards to Galaxy's mentions. You said that you liked the chemistry with Kong and the humans, which I agree. I liked it too. It kept the story going and it felt natural. That being said, I could still flex because Kong still needed their help at the end of the day. Godzilla didn't need jack shit.
Yeah, true. Like, I'm not even picking sides at the end of the day. It's just like,
I totally am, but you know that.
Oh no, I can't tell just by how much you drew Godzilla.
Can't you tell?
Galaxy, can you do me a favor?
Yes.
You dig up the Twitter comic that me and you found, or you showed it to me at one point, where it's like, it's Godzilla and King Kong, but they're like thick moe girls. It's awesome.
Oh my god, I think I can find that. Hold on. I'm gonna find that real quick. But yeah, like, yee. Like, the reason why I'm talking very, like, you know, is because, holy shit, I feel hot in the neck. But also, I want to throw my popcorn to Solar. There you go.
All
right.
Bag of fucking popcorn.
Oh, yeah, no. I hope everybody's ready because Solar's got the big speech.
Take
it the fuck away.
In?
Yep.
Yeah, you're strapped in.
Let's go. Yeah, let's go for the big slope on the roller coaster.
Okay, so yeah, first off, I just wanted to say I knew coming into this movie, I already knew who was going to come out on top. And let's be honest, they said that they were going to try and go for like an extended Monsterverse thing. So the outcome that we ended up getting in this film is probably the best for pretty much all accounts because I can see a whole bunch of different ways this can end up going. The first thing I just want to say is, all that hyping up about this fucking powerful new goddamn thorax, and you still fucking lost! Suck my dong, Kong fans! Big G for life!
We ride till dawn, bitches! Woo!
Is this some sort of, like, Godzilla anarchy or some shit?
I don't think so.
Big G fucking coming out on top exactly as predicted by none other than pretty much everybody else here that wasn't memeing. Because let's face it, who voted for Kong that wasn't memeing? I haven't seen any people. I think anybody that says they are is just lying.
Yeah, I think they're
They're
lying.
doing it for the meme exclusively. It's the only explanation.
Yeah.
You're saying you need a high intellect to understand the.
You need to watch Rick and Morty.
I intellect to hype up Kong with, and he still ended up fucking losing. So no, as a matter of fact, you don't need high intellect.
Okay.
That is the most Sheldon Cooper explanation ever.
Okay, so on a slightly more serious note, what I did like is that they showed that there was the potential for Kong to possibly beat Godzilla, just not in this fight. Because as far as his cinematic legacy goes, he's very inexperienced when it comes to fighting monsters of this caliber. Like, yeah, no, he's fought shit that's bit and scratched him. He hasn't fought shit that's bit him and scratched him and also shot fiery nuclear death at him. That's a little new to the fucking table here. But he showed he was certainly capable of probably getting a win over in Godzilla, given more time, given more experience, you know? Maybe a change of environment. But, yeah, the thing is, even though I was a Lizard fan, I did find myself rooting for Kong in some parts of the movie, just because, yeah, you know, he is pretty much the underdog here. He's going up against the King, the Big G, the OG. Like,
You also have to admit,
it's an uphill fight, no matter how you slice it.
he also had some of the best looking fighting moves.
Oh yeah, I love
the
Kong
nuclear breath looks
choreography.
cool.
It was so good.
One at a time.
Don't get me wrong though, the nuclear breath looks cool, but all Godzilla's really doing is just standing and pointing his head. Whereas again, Godzilla has an MMA style, so it just looks cool to watch, or it looks a bit cooler to watch just because it looks more involved.
I have a question.
I have an answer potentially.
Okay, so one of y'all mentioned that it looked like Kong was pulling some WWE moves, which I could agree with. Would y'all say, just this is a stretch, that Godzilla was pulling literal, not samurai moves? What do you call it? What do you call those really big guys that use their weight to fight? Sumo. Yeah, sumo moves.
I mean, if you throw realism out of the window, you could pretend a sumo wrestler could outdo an MMA fighter, but yes.
It just felt like Kong was extremely agile, which I'll give him every right he needs to be. But Kong had the weight and the power. I mean, not Kong. Godzilla had the weight and the power. So I'm just, yeah. Anyway, carry on.
But another way to show this is that scene from the trailer, the axe hit, where he blocks the nuclear fire and hits Godzilla in the head. In my opinion, that was probably the coolest individual move in the movie. At least for me.
My personal favorite was the one where he basically fucking grabbed the two buildings and just fucking slingshot double drop kicked.
What about when he...
It was so fucking wacky. I was just like, yeah, you know what? Fucking good on you for just having fun with it. That's what I need to see in my kaiju movies. I need shit like that.
It's basically Brock Lesnar versus Rey Mysterio. That's Godzilla versus Kong. It's you got Kong just jumping around, flying off the top of a fucking building, and then Godzilla just what the fuck?
You mean Goofy? You mean how they played fucking Frogger with aircraft carriers?
I mean, yeah, no, it's a fucking kaiju movie. Obviously, your suspension of disbelief is somewhere in the stratosphere. Walking into that,
but also that looks like something out of a video game, so it's cool.
Yeah, exactly.
That's why I said Frogger.
But yeah, no, Kong is very much built up to be an underdog throughout the whole of the movie, and I think it isn't so much of deciding who was going to win because, let's be honest, by all rights, Big G had the biggest advantage. There was no way Kong was going to come out on top unless there was a significant advantage thrown his way. I think what he ended up doing, however, even though he didn't end up winning, he most certainly ended up getting Godzilla's respect at the end of the day.
It was kind of like
that's kind of what I was seeing. It's just like everybody's going with the homoerotic subtext of where he's fucking standing over his hapless prey. But I think what was essentially happening there was him just going, "Oh, you're defiant, even though I could fucking kill you at any moment. You know what? Fucking props. I can see you're not the source of the problem, so just fuck off. Go home."
Also, he did save him from Mechagodzilla.
That too.
And considering what he did earlier, he probably just won his respect by, okay, you beat a guy that kicked my ass, basically.
And just also, Mechagodzilla. I fucking called it. I called it. Y'all are all there. Everybody fucking remembered.
I'm a witness. He called it.
I fucking called it. In every fucking podcast, I fucking called it.
Yeah, no.
Right here, baby.
Yeah.
Right here.
Just
Galaxy Brain.
Yeah, no, I can, as soon as I saw the machine, I'm like, oh dear. Oh dear, yep. I knew they were going this route. Because a part of me, okay, aside from the, the theory that Robin said about, they had to let Godzilla win because, having the rights, there would have been an issue between Legendary and what was the company that owns Godzilla? Toho, yeah. There would have been a heated debacle of some sort. But even aside from all of that, I already knew that neither side would win. And the other which is that people who are fans of Godzilla or who were fans of Kong, there would have been so much fucking salt in the air. Be real. Whenever it comes to these versus titles, whether it's a movie or a video off of, what was it called? The Death Battle or just what have you, there's always going to be, there's always going to be salt in the air. And I see people in the chatter saying Godzilla won, obviously. But they still have that plot thread where they had the Mechagodzilla.
Yeah, so I gotta make this abundantly clear because I don't know why I kept headbutting with Aeon over this. Probably because I care more about it than he does.
I bet you I'm thinking exactly what you're thinking.
So I'm basically pretending, granted that was a fun fight. It was a fun fight, and yes, I wholeheartedly agree that it was extremely one-sided.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah, but I wasn't there to see that fight. I was here to see Kong versus Godzilla. Did I get it?
The movie.
What?
Oh no, I was saying, in my perspective, I came to see a movie.
That's fair.
And it was in the movie. That's why I was bringing it up.
Uh-huh. But I'm not acknowledging that fight. I wanted to see Kong versus Godzilla, and I got that. And that ending fight was Godzilla won, so he won. Boom.
Did we lose? Oh, Ryley.
Oh, Ryley, yeah.
Oh, there's Ryley.
Yeah,
that fight was not exactly one-sided. There was a moment in time where I'll agree with Silver. I actually thought, oh god, I'm actually starting to feel bad for Kong here a little bit. Okay, Big G, please don't kill him. I know he could be a bit of an angry jerk, but come on. Okay, now we're just a boy. Go easy on the fuzzy guy. He doesn't know when to quit. Oh, okay, Kong doesn't know when to quit. All right, Kong, you asked for it. There was a moment of time where I actually thought, oh, Kong is actually really pissing off Godzilla to the point where Godzilla is... Oh, how did Lars put it? Oh, right. Lars said this was probably the most aggressive version of Godzilla he had ever seen in a fight. And that's saying something because Lars is a bigger Godzilla fan than me. He's trying to collect all the movies. You can imagine how hard that is, especially trying to keep it in timeline order, which is quite frankly impossible.
Has he gotten a certain Godzilla film that we all know?
No! About? Shut up, Ryley! I swear to God, I will kick you out of this call!
And I will deafen you.
He's not allowed to taint the collection with such heresy.
No, I'm sorry. I will server mute you.
Thank you. Anyway. But that being said, yeah, there was a time where I thought Kong was actually getting Godzilla on the ropes until he lost his axe. And by then I was like, okay, Boy, you better run. Oh, you better run. As soon as he got hit by his breath, I'm like, okay, he's down. Leave him alone. He learned his lesson. Nope. Assert dominance. Crushing chest. And I'm like, okay. Ow. I did love that, like, when they were staring at each other eye to eye. But quite frankly, Kong was at Godzilla's mercy right there, and you could see it. But in that last defiant moment, Godzilla's roaring in his face, basically saying, you better submit. And then in the last ditch ever, Kong refused and said, I would rather die. Okay, crunch.
That and could be arranged.
I mean, again, but this tells you a few things about the two monsters. One, Godzilla is not immediately going to want to kill his rival. Assert dominance, yes. He doesn't want to have to put up with you anymore in his territory. Just bow down before me and then leave me the hell alone. Are we clear? No, we're not clear. Okay, then you're going to die, bitch!
And then...
No. We're not. I'm kind of glad you were muted for that. I'm not going to quote what Aeon just said in the background.
Okay, then.
Shut up!
Well, now we just encouraged him.
No. It's not kosher. But my point is that you got a glimpse that Godzilla is not a cold-blooded killer. He just wants to put other monsters in their place so they're not a threat to his territory, and that's it, and he'll walk away. Kong, on the other hand, is like, this thing attacked me first, he attacked my family, and I am not okay with this. I'm going to teach him a lesson, which is fair.
Why, Ayana?
Yeah, that's fair. Unfortunately, though, you went up against Big G won, and he was going to spare you, but then you had to say, F you, I'd rather die. Okay. You're lucky you have human friends.
No, then he got destroyed, and then Kong saved him. He's like, you know what, you're cool. I'm still stronger, but we're cool.
Yeah.
I'm going to the ocean now.
Yeah, I'm going to go in the ocean now. Thanks for helping me out with that. I could totally kick your butt again, but not until after I'm healed, so we're good. See ya.
Thanks for not letting me die.
Hey, more like Kong should have thanked him for not letting him die either in that fight, because if it weren't for Godzilla charging up his axe.
This is literally the me.
I just want to point out,
you are a gibbering mess. Actually.
I just want to point out the plain and simple here. Had Kong not been, Jesus Christ. Had Kong not been helped by the humans, he would have been dead straight up, period, end of sentence. He needed outside help just to survive his encounter with Godzilla.
Oh wait, you know what we need to talk about that none of us have pinpointed out?
What?
What?
The fact that Mecha Godzilla was being controlled by Ghidorah.
Oh yeah. That was my conspiracy theory, by the way, it's a lot simpler in scope. It's basically, that's the setup for Mecha King Ghidorah, because there's big fucking telepathy fucking bullshit going on with the dead kaiju skull. And long story short, 99% sure King Ghidorah was the one controlling Mecha Godzilla, because psychic bullshit.
And you know what? I am totally okay with this. I am so happy they tied that into this movie. They hinted at that in the King of the Monsters with the head of King Ghidorah being salvaged, and now they were using it to basically use some alien telepathy computer bullshit. Don't question it; it's their universe. I don't know how it works, but I love that it's still tied in where humans made this big powerful machine and now they can't control it. It's being controlled by another alien monster that we thought was dead, but it's not. And oh god, it's corny as hell when you say it out loud, but god, I don't care. It was fun.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty fucking fun.
Hell yeah.
It was almost kind of like they were doing a Kiryu type of situation, but with Ghidorah, basically.
I mean, when you look at it, I mean, again, if you haven't seen some of the older Godzilla films, highly recommend you watch them, because then you get an idea of why Legendary Studios can get away with stuff with like this, because there have been some crazier shit in Toho movies.
Yeah, there has.
Oh God, yes.
Hey,
Look
yeah,
at
no.
God-
One of the monsters that you blew up had particles that got sucked into a black hole. So now here's Godzilla with crystals on his back.
Oh yeah, was that like Space Godzilla?
Yes, Space Godzilla.
We call that Space Godzilla.
How about a literal mound of trash called Hedera?
What?
Yeah, Hedra, a monster made of pure
It's
human
a fucking
pollution.
smog monster. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is like fucking Captain Planet shit here. What?
Oh,
So what I'm hearing is we need to do a marathon of Toho Godzilla movies with
Yes!
threats.
Yes.
Not
And-
even the good ones. Let's find the dumbest ones.
So, Roland Emmerich's Godzilla?
No.
No!
We're
That
talking
movie
about
would've-
the quality good ones.
That movie would have been fine if it wasn't called Godzilla. It's just not a. It's an okay 90s action movie, and then they put the fucking Godzilla name on it.
It's Zilla. Call it Zilla.
I stand by the opinion that that
Chino.
movie isn't as bad as everyone says it is. It's just bad because it's called Godzilla.
It's not Godzilla.
Call it
Yeah.
Diedzilla.
It's like, take the monster away, fine. Take away the fact they called this Iguana T-Rex Godzilla, fine, whatever, I could get over it. What apparently I could not argue against, though, which basically sucked me into, no, I cannot forgive this movie crowd, was the horrible acting.
That's a lot of fish.
God
Damn it! I was gonna say that.
You know, they kind of did reference that in this film with the one scene where Kong is eating a lot of fish.
Oh, yeah, they kind of were, but at least they didn't say it. It was more like a meme.
I didn't really see it as I see it as that. I thought I had the impression that okay, I guess Kong likes eating fish aside from eating bananas.
Ryley, okay, I'm gonna kill him, Golem. I'm gonna kill him. I'm gonna kill him. I'm gonna
Who are you gonna
kill
me?
him.
You gonna kill me?
No, I'm gonna kill Ryley.
What did Ryley do?
Manila's a fucking plague. He's an abomination and a curse, and he deserves to be forgotten.
I'm pulling up the other GIF. My favorite GIF.
Manila is the opposite.
Oh,
of progress.
okay. I now see it.
We actively regress as a society the more that we remember Manila.
I'm looking. Okay, so apparently it's in the Discord chat. There's Ryley posted a GIF of Godzilla with this smaller figure, and he just plummets on his back. Okay, I don't know who that is.
Where the fuck is this?
It's best that you don't ask.
Okay then.
Here we go. My favorite GIF. My favorite Godzilla GIF, which I wish they reference in the movie.
Yes, that's a fun gift.
Oh, the gaslighting. Where is that from?
God, what's the name of that one? Which movie is that one?
Solar said Godzilla versus Megalon.
Godzilla versus Megalon. Yeah.
Megalon.
That's right.
Yeah, Megalon.
So we're gonna do it. We're literally gonna have to do a marathon of just random Toho kaiju
Yeah.
movies.
I'm
Yes.
afraid to ask, how the fuck many are there?
Too many.
A lot.
Objectively too many.
Very
Oh,
many.
that's gonna be
much
huge.
many. Mucho
Okay, so
many.
it's gonna be Godzilla Day where we're gonna be sat down and sat through all the.
Hey, ha! Oh, buddy, that's a week long task. Easy.
Okay, then we'll just number them out. Maybe separate them throughout the
We
week.
shouldn't do every Godzilla movie. We should just do like a random selection of the dumber Godzilla movies. Yes, we should do the original one because that movie is actually fantastic. But we should also do the dumbest Godzilla movies.
Oh yeah, probably.
And by that you mean quality bad Godzilla movies.
Yes,
Yes.
They're,
And
they're
not-
good movies, but they're also stupid.
Yeah, not
Oh.
Godzilla.
Though I will need to point this out with the first movie of Godzilla ever made, and of course Shin Godzilla. Those two movies are to be taken a lot more seriously.
Yeah, that one's like
Yeah.
actually. That's why
Yeah.
I kind of like. I wish the human stuff was better in these movies because like you can do good human shit in a kaiju movie. Like the original Godzilla. is
Pacific
a fucking-
Rim. Case in
Yeah.
point.
Yeah.
Even a modern equivalent to that would be Pacific Rim.
Hey, what did they do in Pacific Rim? They built giant fucking robots. Fuck you, I'm still right.
This is podcast.
No, I meant like in terms of like writing a human-centric kaiju movie. I mean,
Yeah, no, I get you 100%.
yeah, because that literally is just a 100% human kaiju movie.
I love Pacific Rim so much, man.
No, I finally did watch that with, I think I watched it with Anne, or I watched it on
you
my
watched
own.
it with me.
Okay, yeah. So I only saw bits and pieces of the first movie, and I remember thinking, "Oh, this doesn't look bad. I really ought to sit down and watch it in full one day." Finally, do, and I was not disappointed. I'll never watch the second one just because people have really scared me out of not seeing it.
Same.
But
Okay, I'm gonna simp for Pacific Rim 2. It's not as good as the first one, but it's still pretty okay. Like, yeah, it's not as good as a Del Toro movie, but there's some cool shit in it, and I think it's fun to watch. Like, it's a fun, I'm bored on a Sunday kind of movie.
Something about the first movie always made put an emphasis on how big these things were. You were able to tell.
Love monsters.
Oh yeah, you could always just the cinematography always put an emphasis on how big these things were when they were fighting and stuff.
E.
Oh,
That's why one of the reasons I love it so much.
I just remembered something else that I kind of found a little funny. Correct me if I'm mistaken here. I think the orchestral music was using the same type of music that was from the older Godzilla films whenever Godzilla arrived.
Yep.
It's when they got so fucking dramatic. It's like, boom, 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 boom. God
Dun,
fucking
dun.
Zilla.
da 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 da. Oh, I love that song.
Get the fuck up. Simon says, "Get the fuck up."
What? What?
What?
It's from a song where they sampled the Godzilla song. He's like, Simon says, "Get the fuck up." I can't remember the name of it.
I know exactly what he's talking about.
Also-
it's just really fucking stupid.
Also, Mr. Joel
Yeah.
Buell, you're asking for a death wish right now.
Stick up for Michael Bay for half a
no,
second.
just no.
I would actually like to... Not him, his usual writing team. I would actually be interested in seeing a kaiju movie by Michael Bay. Because why the fuck not? Big, stupid explosions and actions. That sounds cool.
Yeah.
I'm gonna sound like a fucking pretentious piece of shit.
You are acting like a pretentious piece of shit.
I'm always a pretentious...
Well, I mean, like when you get to the top of just cinemastery, just cinemastery.
Like,
When you just get to that level, where do you go?
Michael Bay has made bad movies, but at the same time, like, his action shit is always really fucking cool. So yeah, if you're gonna make
honestly,
a big dumb action movie,
It all depends.
there's like one or two Michael Bay movies I'm like, you know what? They're not that bad. Like the first half of Armageddon, it's pretty fun. Like, it's honestly, I'm gonna sound such like a fucking asshole here. It's better human stuff than Godzilla vs. Kong.
I mean,
The first
like
half of Armageddon, not the second half.
having it put like that, I agree wholeheartedly, because say whatever you will about all of Michael Bay's movies, I think the one takeaway that everybody ends up having regardless is just, but when you get to the action, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
So when you just the obvious solution is just, okay, yeah, make a film that's 90% action. Okay,
Yeah.
here's a kaiju movie.
I would
do
love
that.
to see him make a kaiju movie. Like, get somebody who actually, like, knows what the fuck he's doing when it comes to, like, the writing and production design shit. Like, that shit's the hard shit. Just having Michael Bay, like, okay, you have two big fucking monsters, and a big ass city, what do you want to fucking do? I would love to see that. Like, alternate universe where I can see a kaiju movie made by Michael Bay, hell yeah.
You know,
Be like Rampage, but better.
you know,
I remember Rampage.
I kind of liked Rampage.
It's okay. I wish.
Yeah.
All right. Fucking Godzilla destroy all monsters. That's for the real ones out there.
Oh wait, what if they got Del Toro to direct a Godzilla film?
Oh,
I mean,
Jesus
I'd rather have Del
Christ.
Toro. I'd rather have Del Toro direct a Godzilla film than
Yeah, the same man who
Like-
made Pan's Labyrinth.
Yep.
and Pacific Rim, motherfuckers.
Rim motherfuckers.
Here we are
Okay.
theorizing everything. You know, at least
All
it's
right.
not Paul W.S. Anderson.
I got one for you. So, I want to see fucking. This is the dumbest possible solution. I want to see Del Toro make a kaiju movie where Mechagodzilla is the protagonist. They just take Pacific Rim, but instead of like the fucking I can't remember what the giant robots are called.
Wait,
Jaegers.
The Jaegers. It's a Jaeger team piloting fucking Mechagodzilla.
Robin.
You have to be careful with this one. There's only one of them.
Robin.
What?
Imagine if Del Toro would direct a Godzilla film with Destroya.
I mean, yes, Destroyer would be awesome. I'm just thinking because they're kind of solidifying right now that they want Godzilla to be more of like, he's not really a character, he's just kind of a force of nature, but he's also like, because I think the director said even like, yeah, we wanted to make Godzilla the bad guy for a change. He's been a hero for too long. Let's have fun with him as the bad guy.
So so this is kind of like Captain America: Civil War.
Kind of. I would just like to see, like, just make a movie where fucking Mechagodzilla is the good guy. Fuck it, why not? Sounds fun.
Oh, they've made him a good guy. And
The film that you're looking for is called Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla Tokyo SOS,
I've seen that movie too.
which is a sequel to Godzilla against Mechagodzilla 3,
Which is not Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla.
which is
I love
completely
these
different.
movies. God, I love these movies. They're so fucking stupid.
they are.
Yeah, by the way, the 3 stands for the third iteration, not the third version in this iteration, because this is actually the first version. The third version of just all of them all together. This includes the one from, like, the 1970s, and then, like, the one in the 1990s, and then this one in the 2000s. So this one's the third one.
I would love to know how like the fucking there's so many weird ass continuity here. I'm gonna post in our chat the Godzilla timeline, the Toho Godzilla timeline. Brett, what do you think about this image?
Oh
Here,
boy.
it's uploading now.
On that note, I had to BRB.
Saved by the bell! You coward! You can't escape forever!
Run while you can. You won't last long.
Run, Forrest, run.
Somebody said the director of Fast and Justin Lin doing a kaiju movie would be awesome as shit. Holy fuck, I would want that. Yes! Give me Justin Lin's Fast and Furious meets Okay, no joke, I would want to watch a Fast and Furious movie where they fight a kaiju, because I would not be able to predict who could win that fight.
Just like, where do you go from there? Fuck it, kaiju, why not? Sure.
Someone said, like, who would win in a fight, the Avengers versus the family from Fast and Furious, and as a fan of both properties, I would say the Avengers would get their fucking ass kicked by the family, because they don't got family.
Sorry, I'm just imagining, like, I don't know, Captain America's like, where are they? I don't know, and then a Supra just barrels out of the darkness.
Yeah!
And, like, flattens Captain America.
Listen, I fucking love Fast and... I don't know if I've talked about this on the podcast. I fucking love Fast and Furious. It's one of my favorite franchises. I'm gonna go see Fast 9. That's gonna be my first movie and back into theaters. It's gonna be Fast and Furious 9. I'm so
Okay, I'm
fucking
back.
hyped about it.
Godzilla.
Yeah.
Jesus fucking Christ.
I told you, you couldn't escape forever.
This is
I wasn't even trying to escape. I was about to answer before the doorbell rang.
Yeah, that's the Godzilla Toho timeline. What do you think?
Toho has way too much fucking time on their hands.
That's a not even a great image. I'm gonna see if I can find a more high quality image so you can actually see all the titles.
Yeah, Goldie, it's not about them having time on their hands. I assure you they don't, because they always take a break for like 10 years before they start up again. No, the problem is that their timeline is a fuckery.
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody says the fucking Legend of Zelda timeline's convoluted. Oh boy, wait till you get into the Godzilla timeline.
I was gonna fucking make a like a jokeful comparison, saying like, oh, so this is a Legend of Zelda timeline for cinemas.
Yeah, pretty much. So yeah, you can actually see the title of these movies the second version of the image, and it's not
with like the Legend of Zelda continuity, it's really fucking funny because it's like, oh yeah, no, every game can just clearly fall under any of the three categories. The one where it's like, oh yeah, the one where he wins, the one where he doesn't win, the one where he does win, but it's also just further along in the regular timeline. Here it's like, oh yeah, you got the Showa continuity, and then the Heisei continuity, and then the Kiryu Saga continuity, which is like 18 different fucking movies. Jesus Christ, I only remember 2 of them, but there's like 18. Holy shit. Then there's the 2000 continuity, which was its own thing, and then there was the Mega Gears continuity, which is its own thing, and then there's the fucking Godzilla, the GMK continuity, that's its own. Then it's just shit over here. It's like, oh yeah, not part of any continuity. Where are they? Nobody knows.
Some of them are also like, I think some of them also like reference stuff that happens in other continuities.
Yeah, exactly. And then there's Shin Godzilla, which is just like, I love Shin Godzilla as both a Godzilla film and as just a fucking movie. Where the fuck is it? Just anywhere in the universe. It's just there.
Which is the best one.
It's just there.
Yeah, that's the Godzilla continuity timeline thing. So yeah, you want to watch that, Brett?
I just want to say for the record, I find it hilarious that looking at this entire chart, the lower right, you had this shit-colored square that is rightfully colored because you have the 1998 Godzilla with... It got a series?
Yeah, it got an animated series.
I'm gonna be contrarian for a second. I actually like the animated series a little bit.
Okay, I distinctly remember seeing like the preview for the animated series on some of the VHSs that I had, but I never actually saw the animated series.
Well, one thing that
the movie.
It is.
Well, that's not very hard.
They actually gave him atomic breath in the series.
Yeah, so...
Roland, you had one fucking job. Shame on you.
That's, this is one of the most confusing series to get into. There's actually a really good, Cinemassacre video about, like, how to get into Godzilla, where it's, like, takes one film from each continuity. It says, hey, don't worry about the continuity shit, like, some of them might reference other things, but, like, it's not too important to know what's going on.
Okay then, I'll take a look at that video because I definitely had to be prepared for this. Because
I'll send it to you.
Okay, so if it's not going to be like, okay, so if it's going to take more than a day, then we're going to have to like mark our calendars for every time, like for how many goddamn movies we'll have to sit through. But also like, there's like other shit that I have to prepare for. I have like, because not next coming week, but the week afterwards is Mortal Kombat. God. And I want to set up a day where, where anybody who's interested in the podcast, because I also want to talk about the original Mortal Kombat, and maybe if you guys are up for it, just rip apart Mortal Kombat Annihilation. I think we've kind of gone to the deep end talking about Godzilla vs. Kong to talking about the fucking franchise as a whole.
So I guess we're at Q&A then?
Yeah, let's go ahead and get to Q&A.
Q&A, baby!
So yeah, I love those Spinel lovers typing in Mortal Kombat. It's like, no, that'll be for the next podcast, which, by the way, it's going to be 2 weeks from now, because Saturday the 17th, Key is going to be hosting Angela's house, and that's going to be an all-day event.
And I will be shooting my short film that weekend. So
You'll be shooting what?
My short film that I'm working on for class, so which will actually be coming to YouTube. I actually have permission to like show my short films on YouTube now, which is going to mean that there won't be like 2 years where I just go dark for a while.
All right, cool.
I wrote a short film that I'm directing next weekend, so that's going to be fun.
All right, so
let's... Godzilla versus Kong. Besides Godzilla and Kong, what other kaiju monsters do you like?
We were just talking about that!
Okay.
I mean,
chat,
actually, we weren't talking about which ones we liked, so.
Alright.
We have been talking about a lot of kaiju stuff today.
It's kaiju.
Alright, so what's everybody got?
I've got nothing.
That's a good question.
Wait, what was the question?
What other
Besides Godzilla and Kong, what kaiju are some of your favorites besides Godzilla and Kong?
I like Pacific Rim.
Pacific Rim is
Good
amazing.
answer.
I mean, obviously, I liked. Well, okay, maybe it's not obvious. I actually did enjoy the previous Godzilla movie from Legendary Studios. Yeah, it could have been better on the human characters. I'm not arguing against that. I literally ripped one of the main characters apart in my review. So I even got into a heavy debate with someone in the comments section about that.
I think we're actually misinterpreting the question. I think they're asking what specific kaiju, not what kaiju film.
Monsters.
Oh, monster! Oh, besides Godzilla, what other favorite kaiju do I like?
I like Pacific Rim.
No, that's not a kaiju! That's a movie!
film!
Whoosh!
Name your favorite kaiju monster other than Godzilla or Kong. Okay, well that would either be King Ghidorah or, hold on, his name is on the tip of my tongue, come on.
Destroyer.
Anguirus!
Anguirus, really?
Yeah, I like his, well, I love his sound. It sounds like a retro humpback whale.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'll have to look up the sound effect for him now just to prove my point.
He's like a jogger on steroids.
I just love how Destroyer looks like a giant fucking demon, man.
In Cloverfield. Yeah.
That was a
I actually
thing.
like- I love all the Cloverfield monster. Like, yeah, you know what? That's a good answer. Or whatever. What's the name that they gave him? Like Clovey or something like that?
Some shit like that, I don't know.
It honestly, that movie. The most interesting thing about that movie is still the fucking the ARG that they made around it. Like that whole fucking universe they built around Cloverfield. That's way more interesting than any of the Cloverfield movies.
It's still kind of weird.
My answer for the aforementioned question, by the way, was
Yes,
Mogira.
What?
Gira?
I said Mogira.
I'm gonna be a basic bitch and say Mothra.
Wow, really?
Yeah, I'm a
You're-
basic bitch. Fuck
You're gonna
off.
go with fucking Mothra?
Yeah, I like Mothra. Fuck you. I like butterflies.
Do you like dying?
Yeah, listen. I can enjoy. I like Mothra. It's a cool fucking design. Listen, if we're not gonna count Godzilla, that means we can't count my favorite, which is Mechagodzilla, because I like giant fucking robots. Okay, I'm a simple Robin.
Why
I
do you
like
think I
giant
picked
robots.
Mogira?
I mean,
Oof.
you're right, but I like giant robots.
Alright,
Mogira is a giant robot, you fucking simpleton!
But my favorite one's Mechagodzilla. I think it's a cooler design because it's just Godzilla, but giant fucking robot.
okay,
Yeah, alright, next question.
Yeah, ask all, what video game do you want to see become a movie?
None.
Okay, can I be an ass with this answer?
Alright.
Arkham City, because I just want a Batman movie like that.
I've given up on Batman. I'm done with it.
I mean, understandable, but if I wanted a Batman movie like Arkham City and Arkham Asylum, like have that style of writing, I would love for Batman, where it's like, fuck you, all the villains exist. We don't need just one. It's not we're not saving the fucking world. We just gotta we gotta stop a couple of assholes from doing asshole things. And I think, yeah, you know what? We could use a Batman movie where he's not trying to save the world.
Yeah. That kind of question, it's kind of hard to answer. Don't let Uwe Boll direct back. No, Uwe Boll needs to be... He should be forbidden to direct movies. Like, he's right up there with Paul W.S. Anderson.
Okay, I did think of one gaming series, but I can deep down say with all honesty that I'm saying this with a stretch little grain of salt.
All right.
Because every time, it's just well known that a lot of the time, video games don't make good movies, and most movies don't make good video games. So, but there is potential for Spyro having a movie. I can see it happening.
Ooh, make that an animated adventure.
Yeah, I mean, it could be a 3D movie if people respected the original content of it and didn't go. I don't know. I just don't think it would be a good idea in general. It never works out.
A Spyro movie, but it's animated in the PS1 style graphics.
Yeah, no.
Dwarf.
I think they still hold up.
This is a movie that I would want to watch. Like, I would enjoy, but it's also like it doesn't need to exist. I would want to watch a fucking Firewatch movie because I think that game is fucking fantastic.
Firewatch?
Oh yeah, it's a good game. Can confirm.
It's a very story based game, and it made me cry way too fucking hard. But also, I don't know if it's because to explain like why I love Firewatch and shit would be way too long of a conversation. But it's a question of like, would it work as a movie, or would I just because like, does player input matter that much, or would I want to watch it because I just love that story? I don't know.
I mean, I feel like it probably could be turned into a film because let's be honest, it's basically just a film for as long as you decide to drag it out for.
Yeah.
I know one that would totally work. You can make, not necessarily as a movie, but as a mini-series, Alan Wake.
Alan Wake.
It's already structured in the style of a mini-series.
I could see that. Okay, I could see that, but only because, yeah, if somebody respected the content, kind of like I really wished that I honestly think BioShock could have made a good movie, but there's just too much to work with that they couldn't do it justice.
Yeah, that's
Also,
the same thing with Mass Effect.
Player input is pivotal to its revelation, though. Because the reason why the plot twist in that works is because you did everything.
Alright, so they would have to like come up with a totally different story that wasn't based around that.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. The reason why BioShock was such a big deal for gaming was that it was... I don't want to say it was the first because I'm not a historian in this area, but it was probably one of the first mainstream games where it's a story that only works as a game, precisely because you having free action is what gives the plot twist its kick.
You know what games I'd like to see remade?
What?
The System Shock games.
Given the Halo anniversary treatment?
Basically, and well, not just the cutscenes, just the gameplay itself would be updated. In general, it'd be kind of like in the same style as the BioShock games.
Somebody's got... Oh. Charm is
and
like...
then they died.
Charm is like jumping back and forth.
So I'm thinking about this. Halo would be cool.
No, there was going to be a Halo. Yeah, no, I remember like back in the 2000s, there was going to be a Halo movie, and then it just went to complete silence.
Yeah,
I mean, I've seen like a couple of things on YouTube. I don't think that they're like actual official. They might be. I don't know. I just know that they're like available for purchase on YouTube, and they're like an hour and a half, an hour and 45 minutes.
Well, isn't it that when they first announced the Xbox One, they also announced a TV series directed by or produced by Steven Spielberg?
No, yeah, Spielberg is actually a Halo fan.
Yeah, they
So
keep
most
saying
people
it's
don't know
gonna
that.
happen, but, like, we haven't gotten any update on it in a while. I don't know. I would just really love to see a big fucking budget Halo movie.
Yeah, I would be down for that.
Could you imagine seeing Reach burn in glorious 4K?
Oh yeah, 100%.
honestly, what they could do, here's my pitch for a Halo movie right now. Just spend all that money you did on the Halo 2 anniversary cutscenes, and just make like a Reach movie, or you could literally just after all the cutscenes.
Here's my thought on it, and this is just one to really just hammer home everything, because it's a movie. So just make a movie that essentially just connects the dots between Reach and Halo 1.
I'm looking at that like, you guys already made those fucking beautiful ass cutscenes for Halo 2. Just do the rest of them, and you could literally make a Halo movie that I would pay to see those cutscenes in a fucking theater. Not gonna lie, they're fucking gorgeous.
They are. They're really pretty.
Here's a question.
Okay.
Ask all, what would be your dream concept for a Disney movie?
2D animation. End of story.
It's not a concept. That's just a request. That's
just
not
an
like a, hey, here's my idea for what the movie would be like. It's just like, oh.
I like how GoldenFox's thing is just like the same energy as like 2D animation. That's it. That's the tweet.
That's it.
That's the tweet. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
It's so... I don't know why I find that funny, but I just find it funny.
Oh, trust me. Like, I was close to going on, like, another Resident Evil tirade based on the question earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, there's been talk about Resident Evil getting a reboot. I seriously hope it's not from the same team like Paul W.S. Anderson did.
The problem is that those movies actually made money. That's why they kept making so many sequels. So
money.
I'm just gonna hang out in the corner where I'm like, there's a couple of them that I found.
What is wrong with you people? Why did you give your money to it?
I never went to see them in theaters. I did rent a couple at Redbox and like at Blockbuster and shit, and I was like, these aren't the worst things I've ever seen. Granted, I had no idea what the fuck Resident Evil was, like, and I didn't know what Resident Evil was like until way later than I saw those movies.
Well, I mean, the movie, like, it was out while you were like maybe a year old or two or something like that, so you wouldn't know anything about it.
The movies came out when I was very young.
Yeah.
But yeah. Okay, chat, we're not doing any more Godzilla vs. Kong.
Yeah, we've been going on too many tirades on that.
We went for like 2 hours about Godzilla vs. Kong.
Yeah.
I'm looking up at the chat to see if there's any good ones. Ask Call, name one thing you like about Golden, because wholesomeness and friendship.
Oh boy.
I could name like a whole list.
He lets us hijack his server for whatever random bullshit we're doing.
That is true. We've hijacked him.
Yeah, he
I'll be,
enables
like,
our
genuine
personality and our habits.
I'll be genuine and shit for a second. Like, Golden was one of the first people, like, that saw my channel and was like, hey, this fucking idiot 12-year-old might be someone fun to hang out with. And I'm almost 21, and, like, that changed my fucking life. And so, like,
Aww.
I really love Golden. And that's why I always do this kind of shit. 'Cause I'm like, hey, Golden helped me out a long time ago, and I gotta repay that at some point.
Yeah.
But why do shoes cares?
If
No.
I were to list one, I'd say I applaud him for reading that one fanfic I did with like like the Bronousis community and Danganronpa crossover.
Oh my god.
I was just like, I applaud him for actually reading that, because I know for a fucking fact that people would find that weird. And I also applaud him for also being like a nice friend and all that cheesy shit, and yeah, he's pretty neat. And he's now probably one of my, like, I would consider him a best friend now, so yay.
Mr. Joel Mule, the fanfic was taken down and the author was forced to take her content down and her DeviantArt because her parents didn't approve of it.
Yeah.
Which sucks.
I also, like... Oh yeah, if it hasn't been fucking spelled out, I was also one of the people that created this fucking monstrosity.
Alright, do you like a favorite cartoon from like Cartoon Network or Boomerang? I would really have to look into that.
Yeah, I would really have to go through a list and see what they've had, because that's I don't want to make that decision lightly.
Yeah.
Well, I think I'm just kind of rambling on some favorite ones, like Codename Kids Next Door.
Same. Teen Titans.
Ed, Edd n Eddy.
The original Teen Titans.
Courage the Cowardly Dog. Foster Sons for Imaginary Friends. Those are a lot of good ones.
There's
Girls.
too many good ones.
But they're all from like the 90s and early 2000s, man.
Grim
That bumps me
Adventures
out.
of Billy and Mandy.
Steven
Grim
Universe is one of my
Adventures.
favorites.
Yeah.
Teen Titans Go. Honestly.
Shut up.
And I'm gonna be the get out. I'm gonna be the old person here and mention stuff like Thundercats, Thundar the Barbarian.
Oh my god.
I think at one point Pirates of Dark Water was on there. I think maybe. Yeah. I told you I'm old school. Scooby Doo.
A lot of fucking Mystery Incorporated as well. Like, there's a ton of
Recess.
honestly, you could
Recess.
Disney.
Yeah, that was
Holy
Disney.
cow! That's a
Yeah, but
classic.
still.
It's still
It's in the same vein, you know?
cartoons like from that era. Some of them hit differently, and you know what?
They really do, you know?
Sleepy. You know what? I'm at this point. I'm old now. I think I'm just tired of cartoon discourse. Teen Titans Go to the Movies is fucking great.
I've heard the movie is actually
The movie's fucking great. I don't really care anymore about the fucking which one do you prefer, Teen Titans Go or original Teen Titans. I'm like, fuck it. They both have their own merits. I'm old and tired now. I used to be able to do that shit, but that was like when I was 13.
Old
you know.
and tired, he says in front of the 30-year-olds.
No, Bliss, you're not old. I'm old.
You say in front of the 30-year-olds.
Yes, I know. Oh, trust me, I know. You guys are not old. This is a joke that I've had with some people in real life where they're like a couple years older than them. Like, I'm so old now. And they're like, what the fuck? What am I then? I'm like, no, you guys are beautiful. I'm old. Y'all fucking beautiful. I'm old.
You merely adopted the old. I was born in it. Molded by it.
So, okay, the best way to fucking do the goddamn the Bane voice is just you gotta do a Sean Connery voice and then you cover it up with your mouth and it's Bane.
I can barely hear
It
what you're
helps if
saying.
you have something to talk into, you know?
You have to kind of I do my hands and it's like there we go. Now you can hear it.
Because I have such a time of cracking cold ones.
I just have a
cold one on this.
I have multiple, actually.
I actually did crack the cold one earlier.
I didn't hear it. Well, I'm also deaf, so you know, don't question it.
God damn, are you stupid?
I am a stupid fucking
Are you
girl.
stupid?
That's why I like Monke.
Stupid.
Oh my god!
I'm just thinking about the Super Mario Brothers movie where it's like where it's Monkey. That's me.
Monkey.
That's me at all times. Monkey.
Do we have any more questions?
You watched any CW shows? What did you watch? I watched all the fucking DC CW shows for a while.
That's so Supernatural.
Didn't we kind of already answer this?
Yeah,
No,
it
CW
feels
not-
like the same
yeah.
type of question.
Yeah, but I guess you're right. It's the same kind of question.
It's a similar format.
I just really want to say, Legends of Tomorrow is the dumbest fucking shit I've ever seen, and I love it. It's so fucking. It's the only show
really?
I know where you have a psychic gorilla talking to Barack Obama in the 1970s. It's the dumbest fucking bullshit I've ever seen. I love it.
Oh my god. Don't get me started on CW.
Yeah, I just wanted to say, like, God bless one show, and its name is Legends of Tomorrow.
Hey, Robin.
Yeah.
How about Riverdale?
Baby, I'm a month away from Riverdale round 5, motherfuckers!
Oh, I hate Riverdale.
It's one of the
Fucking
worst
hell.
shows I watch. It's one of the worst shows. But
Yeah,
it's also
it
my favorite.
was.
It's one of my favorite marathons every year, where whenever they drop the series on Netflix every season, I binge watch the entire season in a week. It's all I watch, and it's the dumbest bullshit I watch.
All right, here we go. Finally, a completely different question. Ask all. What do you think of the trailer Cruella de Vil? I'm not expecting it to be good.
Are we really fucking, like, trying to make the goddamn dog murderer? Like, that's the thing. When they reinvented, like, fucking Maleficent, I actually say Maleficent's a pretty fucking good movie. That's because Maleficent in the original has no fucking character. She has literally nothing to her. She's just evil. So
Yes! Keep it that way!
But no, you can take that and be like, hey, what if we do like a reinvention of the character to do this? And it's interesting. You can do that kind of shit. Because like there's nothing really to her except for she puts Aurora to sleep. That's like the end, she turns into a dragon. That's like the two evil things she does. You can actively develop a real story around that. Fucking Cruella de Vil is a dog murderer.
Robin, she didn't just want to put her to sleep. She wanted to put her to sleep long enough until the prince was well into his 80s while she stayed young. She was sadistic.
But you can, like, you could have, like, I think Maleficent is a good reinvention of that character. It's at least, it's interesting enough to, like, stand on its own outside of the original. Cruella de Vil's whole character is just, I'm murdered dogs for coats. Like, that's her whole fucking character.
I mean, I'm wanting to get your point, but I completely disagree with you on Maleficent. But I'm also, like, socially dead, and I don't want to have a debate right now.
Understandable. Like, that's one of those, like, I know it's more of a Mia thing, I just kind of liked it. Because I also really don't like the original Snow White that much, like, to be honest.
Okay, that's fair. I can respect that. It's just that they took one of my favorite villains from Disney and try to make her relatable, like give her a reason to be evil, but they did it in the most stupidest effing way possible to the point that she was never evil at all. It was all the other characters that were evil, and that pissed me off. She was a badass. She was meant to be a badass villain. You ruined that for me. And no, I hate that movie. I absolutely hate it. I will never watch it again. I will not bother with the Cruella movie because, oh my god, I just cannot. Stop ruining the villains.
Don't fix what isn't broken. If whenever Cruella de Vil comes out, they just call it Cruella, sorry. I'm so used to saying Cruella de Vil in its entirety. But anyway, if Cruella I did it again!
Cruellaville.
Crazy lady who murders dogs!
Yeah, if the movie comes out, and if it bombs, I'm going to laugh and revel in Disney's embarrassment. Because this will come to their attention, hey, people don't want to see live action movies anymore. They don't want to see this shit, and you're wasting your money on making more of these remakes, so get your fucking shit together. I don't care if it makes a lot of money. What?
Okay, you got way too heated on that one.
No, I'm angry with him too. I'm just being more quiet about it.
Don't fix what isn't broken. It's that simple. But if money's all they care about, then they don't deserve my respect.
Well, here's another thing
Robin
about
also pretty good. I like that movie.
Christopher Robin.
Hold on, Ryley was talking.
Maleficent. The thing about Maleficent, her name means evil. Her fucking name means evil.
Thank you.
Okay. This has gotten very tense.
Yeah, next question.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, Disney, we've got to have money. If you want money, you have to earn it. Next question.
Oh, your voice cracked. Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. It's just,
I mean, you and I could sit in a corner somewhere by ourselves, like, or on a hill or something with a cup of coffee, and we both just scream out our vengeance of Disney.
It's not even just Disney. It's the people who pay to see these. There's a reason why The Lion King made a shit ton of money. Because people were dumb enough to go to the theaters and pay and see them. Because you give writers and studio executives the impression that they want to see more of it. This is also why I don't go to a movie theater just to see how bad a movie is. Because you do that, you run the risk of giving these companies the impression, oh, people want to see more of it because it's making money.
Didn't Lion King make like almost $2 billion?
Yes!
Some ungodly amount.
That movie should have dropped out of the box office within a matter of fucking minutes.
Basically, they were targeting an audience that's not us, Golden. That's the thing.
The target audience needs a better education.
The target audience is not us. They are my nieces and nephews at this point. It sucks, but it's kind of outside of our control, too. I mean, can't really bash people for having their own opinion and taste at this point. I mean, we can hate on Disney for all our hearts content, though. But I'm not gonna bash the public.
So definitely like the tech that came out of that, like the use of Unreal Engine. This is okay. I'm gonna be fucking film nerd here for a minute. The use of Unreal Engine that was developed for what's it called? Jungle Book and Lion King movies, and then got used on Mandalorian, is really fucking cool. Like,
I love Jungle Book. I thought Jungle Book was a decent live action film.
like I think that tech is just so fucking cool, and like, the more that kind of shit we can develop, using these kind of movies basically as Trojan horses to test out, like, hey, do you think this would look cool? Maybe, we'll see. Even if it doesn't work perfectly, like, we made a movie out of it. I think that's fucking cool. But then again, I just like really cool tech shit when it comes to like making movies like that. That's a lot. We're already answering these questions, guys.
Yeah. 2D animation isn't coming back because it doesn't make money. That's why. Anyways, let's see, Snow, you don't have to keep asking this. Yeah, no, guys, stop repasting the same question.
Yeah, usually if we don't answer a question or, like, don't hold it... Like, if it's been a while since you've asked a question and we haven't said it, usually it's because, like, it wouldn't make a good discussion on the podcast.
Yeah, so we'll see if we can go for one more question. I'm sorry if I'm getting too carried away over everything.
You there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, there you are. Okay, you cut off for a sec.
God fucking damn it, Discord! You had one goddamn job. Fuck!
Okay.
Every time.
You need some chocolate and a hug after this.
I was apologizing, and Discord shut me the fuck up. Bad.
I'd give you a hug if I could.
Oh my god.
California and hug Golden after this podcast.
Oh my god. I'm sorry for getting so carried away.
Okay, I have a question for the call.
Okay.
I already know Aeon's answer to this. I don't know about the rest of you. So I have recently saw this movie twice.
Yeah.
And what were your thoughts on Ready Player One?
I have not seen it.
It's better than the book.
Riley, remember that night we had?
Yeah, it was such a fun night.
Joey, me, and you. That was basically a year ago, dude. It was the last day of March.
It was 3 years ago, but yeah.
I guess I'm bringing it up because of, the new Space Jam movie is starting to give off those vibes of the movie Ready Player One. And I remember when Aeon first introduced me to it, I was thinking, I really hope this is not one of those movies where it hates on gamers in general, like that one movie did that was really bad. No, it was just a big nod to the retro and the 90s, 80s, and even to the current day and age when it was released. Just an overall idea of not even just the idea of what the future could be like as gamers in general, but how people make relationships online and it shouldn't be taken for granted.
Yeah.
It shone a torch on the most oppressed group of all, gamers.
Fucking Batman Beyond.
I really fucking hate the book Ready Player One, so like I was like, oh, this is gonna probably suck, but like, if anybody could make that story work, it's Spielberg, because he's like the thing that is interesting to me is that like the book version of Ready Player One is very much like, you know, what we were joking about, like the oppressed group, the gamers. Like that's the guy who wrote it is very much like that in real life, which is kind of sad. But you know, it's like that kind of thing. Spielberg isn't nostalgic for that kind of pop culture. He made that pop culture. So literally, like it's a guy who doesn't have a strong connection to that, you know, oh, everything was better in the 80s and 90s because I was a kid back then. It was like, yeah, I made this kind of shit, so like I'm just happy that people still love it. Like that's, I think, the more fun approach to it. Ready Player 2, the book, fucking blows, though. Please do not make a movie about it.
I Player 2.
Please.
And yeah, that's
Please don't make a fucking movie about Ready Player 2. it's somehow even fucking worse than Ready Player One, the book.
How does one explain the plot of Ready Player 2?
You don't. You just
like literally, wasn't everything solved at the end of Ready Player One? Why the fuck is there a second one?
because Ernest Cline wanted more money.
Yeah.
Because the movie was an unexpected hit, whereas because they never talked about making a sequel to Ready Player One until the movie came out, and then it was suddenly like, oh yeah, I'm writing a sequel to the book, and I'm like, interesting.
Not gonna lie though, the Mechagodzilla design in Ready Player 1 is probably my favorite Mechagodzilla design.
Oh, it was great. It was fantastic. It was incredible. The one in the movie was still pretty good, I think. It was very practical.
All right, so I think it's time to wrap things up, and I will let you guys have your the final says.
Moment of shameless promotion for whatever we're doing.
I guess.
That's what I'm doing. I'll go because I'm gonna shamelessly promote. And so I just put out a video today about like my experience making a fan edit of Zack Snyder's Justice League. Also, the fan edit is out. It's on my channel. You have to go to like a Google Drive link to actually watch the movie. But I'm really fucking proud of it. It was like 2 weeks of my life that I spent doing this one project, and it's dumb, and yeah, I'm really happy with how it turned out. So you should go and watch it. It's like 4 hours of content from me. It's 30 minutes of me rambling about a 3-hour fan cut.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
All right.
That's it for me.
All right. Anybody else?
Someone in the chat is trying to fucking die right at the end of this podcast.
Actually dying right now.
Oof.
Yeah, no, movie was
Don't
good.
worry.
I'm socially, like, dead.
Yeah, no, he's dying actually right now. As a matter of fact, I'm watching him die physically
It's okay.
with my own looking
I
balls.
still cling to life because of my immortality, but
Hi,
yeah,
Myth.
that was
We're
it.
ending things.
Joe Mule has requested to be removed. Haha.
Yeah, I noticed.
Oh, now that I see it, okay.
So next podcast is gonna be back to Saturday on the 24th.
Probably.
It depends on my schedule because it's going all over the place.
Yeah, because
Everyone loved it.
this is obviously not our usual day to do a podcast.
I know, and it's beyond my control. But next week, there's not going to be a podcast. There's going to be a stream from Keyframe on Angela's house all Saturday. Now, hopefully, the next week I get an open Saturday, because at that point I'm willing to because I'm anticipating to it. Yeah, no Spinel lover knows what I'm talking about. Mortal fucking Kombat. I hope it's good. And I also just for shits and giggles, as we're talking about the recent movie, I also kind of want to go back on the first Mortal Kombat movie in the 90s, the only good movie from Paul W.S. Anderson, and just have fun shitting apart the sequel, Annihilation.
Let me see.
It's just the thought in mind.
Too bad you will die.
God.
Got him.
Oh.
Nice.
God, the fucking dialogue is so fucking shit. And that's barely scrapping the surface.
You will die.
Okay, well, I'll catch you. I'll see you guys next time.
Bye, bitch.